All right, everyone, let's talk about what the word pattern means. A pattern is when I repeat a line or a shape over and over and over, and I mix different lines and shapes together to create a sequence of lines and shapes together. So an example of a pattern on this worksheet could be triangle, dot, triangle, dot, triangle, dot, and repeat that over and over. Another pattern could be big circle, little circle, big circle, little circle, big circle, little circle, and repeat that over and over. Another pattern could be diamond shape, line, 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 diamond shape, line, 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 diamond shape, line, line, line. So I'm mixing some lines and I'm mixing some shapes together, and I'm repeating over and over and over. Kind of sounds like a song when you start to repeat it. Squiggly line, circle, squiggly line, circle, squiggly line, circle. So that is what a pattern is. So what we're going to start with today is this worksheet, and we're going to use some markers from your marker box, and I want you to draw some of your own patterns in all of these boxes. So I'm going to start with my name on the top here, and then I'm going to think of a line or a shape that I can repeat over and over in this first box. So maybe my first pattern could be triangle, dot, and fill that whole box with just triangles and dots. Okay, so when I fill the whole box, then I can move on to another box. Think of a new pattern. So maybe I could do squiggly line, circle, and repeat squiggly lines and circles in the box. So I'm just filling up my box by repeating a line and shape together. My next pattern could be straight line, zigzag line, straight line, zigzag line, straight line, zigzag line. So I'm going to fill my whole box with different patterns. Now you can look at this packet to help you find some patterns and even some really fancy patterns on this side and the back side. So fill 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 boxes with different patterns. So that's your first step today. Now when you finish your pattern worksheet, we're going to make something today called an illuminated letter. So way back in the day, when really old books were first being written, artists were designing something called illuminated letters. So in a really old book, a really old story, the first letter of the story was always very fancy and it had lots of patterns. So these are some examples of different illuminated letters. So here's a story right here, and the first word starts with an A. So the first letter is an A, so they made the A very fancy to tell us that this is a very important story or a very important book. So here's a couple more examples of another different type of A, very fancy with lots of different patterns. So we're going to try and create our own illuminated letter today. So what I want you to start with is this worksheet like this. You are going to choose the letter of your first name. So if my first name starts with an N, I'm going to choose this blank N worksheet. Now I'm going to look back at my pattern packet, the patterns that I made and the patterns in this packet to help me to fill my letter with different types of patterns and colors. So I'll choose any color that I like and try and create some patterns all over my letter. So I can do lines and shapes together or just lines together, but I'm repeating them over and over. I can choose a new color and do a new pattern on this side over here, maybe some triangles and circles together. So I'm going to keep going until I finish my whole letter with different patterns. Now when it's all finished, it should look something like this. I have used my markers to fill in all these different types of patterns, and then I used some crayons to color in the white space. So in your crayon box, you can color in the space around your patterns to make it even more colorful. When I finish my color, I'm going to cut out my letter from my worksheet and then glue it to a black piece of paper, okay? If I have time left and I really want to decorate the background around the N or my letter with a different type of pattern, I can use the white crayons and add different patterns in the space around my letter to make it look even more fancy, okay? All right, when I'm finished, I'm going to write my name on the back and put this on the drying rack.